Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Galaxy Odyssey.
Yay!
Everybody's here. We've got quite a number of things to show off, but first we gotta, herd these cats together. And a lot of things have happened since even the last episode, which I think was me in the Nether, just diving into lava. First of all, I got a cool new bow. It's named Slaughtermelon, and I love it. It's stronger than the Buster Sword. The only downside is the warm-up time to actually pull back the arrows, but it really packs a friggin' punch.
Hell yeah, it does.
So I got a few things to show off.
Hi, Sarah. Hi.
Oh, there's a creeper.
Hiya.
Where?
Whoa. Oh dear.
Where are we looking?
There's also a spider behind you.
You're the one with the sword. Go for it.
I wanted him to get further away from the building.
Beth, you saved me.
You stole my XP.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
You saved me. You stole my XP.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's okay.
Oh, I'm getting thirsty.
I don't have a sword anymore. I don't know where mine went.
Well, that's okay because
got a
we
bone.
can mitigate that. So come around to the front of the house. So we'll start our tour there. And I'm realizing right now that I'm not going to be using a lot of my footage because my FPS is inferior to all of y'all's.
That sounded natural. What is...
Yeah.
Oh, that's your speedboat.
So, yeah, we're having some server problems. My server decided that it's like wanting to undergo autoerotic asphyxiation, so it's
Ew.
constantly choking. Oh god, get away from the water! Get away from the water!
Okay.
There are some
piranha?
nasty monsters in there.
Oh, fun.
They will
Is it a
come onto
monster?
shore.
Oh, the
Or is it
orange things.
The orange fish. The orange fish.
Oh, they've come onto shore.
Whoa, he just
They
flew
will,
in the air.
They will chase you to their own death just to come out, and there's more. So let's back it up, maybe onto the grass a little bit.
Okay.
It's like a fire drill. Nobody truly thinks you'd be safe on the grass, but yeah.
That's what I thought. You stay in the water where you belong, bitch.
So the first things that are worth showing off are I've got fish traps over there so I can catch an abundance of sea creatures, and they're all delicious and they're all gorgeous, and I'll make them into
Is
I don't know,
catfish a
salads
sea
of various
creature?
I don't think so. I think it's a freshwater fish.
Because you guys
Is
got
there
fish in this last one.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, it also picks up frogs. I don't know. Maybe it's just a catch-all. But you can see I've got a speedboat down here. At some point, if you guys want to do some serious water travel, you should build a speedboat. They operate just like regular boats, except they don't fall a fucking apart.
Jeez.
Oh, really?
There we go. Are we any more of these things? I hate those fish. I hate them so much. Let's come around this way.
Whee!
So I've added a bunch of fruit trees of various assortment, so I can grow various things, and they're all well and fine. But here's where we get into the really interesting gubbins. Down here, I've got an apiary, so I can make bees that make me honey. See, these are all gonna fall into the same category, so I'll just list them all. Here's a rice paddy where I can grow rice. I got a hops
Yum, yum, yum.
vine system here, and I got essentially a wine vine system.
Oh, that one's
And
really tall. You redid it.
A really fruitful apple tree that does a really good job making a lot of apples. And all of these things
Good
serve
job,
a single
tree.
purpose. And that's actually over here. So I built this with Sarah and Daniel in mind specifically. So this is the Witch Pavilion.
Oh.
This is where I've started to grow all the crops that are related to witchery. Most of them are in here, and I haven't harvested any because I didn't want to start working on the tech tree for witchery until I could get you guys into it too, because I knew you both expressed interest, and I know Beth would be interested too.
I started fiddling with it, but
I
I didn't
saw
get
that.
very far.
I saw a little bit of this
So
stuff
what is-
at your base.
Why is
don't-
cotton in here? That's useful?
Please don't go breaking these, because one of these crops reveals a monster, and it will attack and be really obnoxious.
It's this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's a secret. Beth already has seen the secret, but there's a secret door that leads to the other place where I can do magical potions. I think Sarah might know about it too. Right click, Sarah. You had it. There you go.
Oh,
Here's my secret hatch.
Cool. Ooh, secret door.
Go on down.
Whoa, it's much bigger
Don't-
than when you had it.
Healthy reminder not to drink the water, by the way, because we're not in a good biome for that. But I do have a good solution. So, this is my brewery basement. This is where I get to brew alcoholic beverages. So, anything that needs to be cooked will be done so in this room that's glassed off so the smoke doesn't get out. I can press apples and grapes over here. Grow the nether wart that I use for magic potions, which are all done in this brewing stand.
Tibbs. We've got to cook some meth. We got to cook the meth.
If
Come
by
on,
meth
Tibbs,
you
we
mean
gotta
fire
cook the meth.
resistance potions, then yeah, I'm kind of swimming in them. That's the only thing I've done magically, but all of these are various drinks that I either have or will have in the future. And I gotta be putting those on this shelf. Since I've been adding so much to the compound, my rendering and my shadow, specifically my shading, doesn't work properly anymore, and there's no way to really fully solve it. You know what, I'll do a little bit of a cycle. Yeah, all right, so I have a button that can temporarily solve the problem, but whatever. It's one of these things I'll just have to deal with whenever I'm on campus. So, if anybody's getting hot and thirsty, there is a secret way out of this room, and that's not the way we came in. Did I close that door? Yeah.
Know where it is.
Beth knows where it is,
Yep.
but I have a secret escape hatch out of this room, too. It is over here.
Who dropped leather boots?
Cool.
So in here, I'm going to be brewing
Those are
various
mine.
brewer's yeasts. On this side, it's specifically this thing called Bianus yeast that's used to make port wine. It's very slow going, and it's not actually making any right now, but this is how I can force it to make some. I'm not really making anything on this side, but there are other kinds of yeast that I haven't yet gotten that can make really good drinks. But if you'll continue, this is the way out. And this leads into your familiar, tried and true nuclear reactor. Now, I'm going to put the sword out because sometimes aggressive things spawn in the water. Daniel, I don't know if you've ever seen the fully completed reactor.
No, I don't think I have, actually.
Nah, this is it. She's up and running.
Yep.
I remember when this was just an empty pit.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
There's a bad guy down there.
There is a
what
bad
kind
guy.
of bad
Whoa,
guy?
there's multiple bad guys down there.
Well, one of them's an
bonk him.
Ico.
And it's coming up.
Oh, come on. I thought I
You'll
smacked that
have to
one.
compete with me in DDR.
Yeah, Sarah set up a DDR station
What?
over here.
Get the fuck
I
out.
think the rest of them are just Icos.
Oh, yeah. I thought I sent you a picture of this, Daniel. Maybe you didn't see it or forgot it, but here it is. Here's DDR.
Oh
not
my
fun.
god.
Bam, bam, bam,
Welcome to the Dance Dance
bam,
Dungeon.
bam, bam.
Can you actually do anything?
We need a second one.
Do anything?
Yeah, we do.
Well, that's easy to make. So in case you haven't seen it, over here is the magical deco bench.
The bar, by the way, is facing the wrong way.
No, it's not.
It's not? I thought that...
No.
Doesn't it face the other way so you can hold on to it while you...
No,
I thought
it's-
so too, but
Everyone-
it's for your butt.
Okay, I know this specifically.
Oh, wait.
because-
Everybody, she knows this.
Oh, no, this because like when I would go to the
Yeah.
arcades and play it, which I worked in a movie theater, so it was right across from us. It's I remember thinking how stupid people looked as they held onto it behind them as they played.
Oh,
Ah, two of them. Yeah. So I have it positioned underneath the air hole.
there you go. It's much
Sorry,
cooler
man.
than what I have positioned under my air hole.
So this device here is the deco bench, this unassuming thing you can throw clay and dye into and make a whole host of a bunch of things. If you just open up the GUI,
Oh,
you
I
can
can
see
make
a
a Rubik's
bunch
Cube.
of potential things.
GUI.
Yeah.
Alright, I gotta make one now.
I'm sorry.
Two kinds. You can make a shuffled or a solved. Some of these things are functional. Like, I've replaced the bed for us upstairs with a version that you can sleep in. And, here's a hint, you can make a hammock. Like a suspended bed. Yeah, something to think about.
That sounds
So this is a potter's wheel? Is that what this is?
Yeah, I think that's what it's supposed to represent, because this thing takes only clay as the resource.
Oh,
Clay and dye.
Sarah, you can sculpt a pot, and then I'll come up behind you, and they'll start playing some slow music. Oh,
Are you dead?
he wasn't dead in that scene.
Are you dead? Because you're gonna be. Yeah, so, I mean, we're just gonna pass through the house real quick. And I'll just, there's nothing super important to point out. Like, a lot of the changes you're gonna see here are related to deco craft. I've added various decorations here and there. I'm starting to work on a world map, but it's kind of annoying. So I might not follow through with it.
Ooh, world map.
Thrown paintings up here and there. Don't touch the paintings because they randomize as soon as they fall off the wall. So try your best not to touch them.
Wine rack.
Kitchen got a bit of a renovation. I reorganized where all the foods went. Built various utensils and crap like that. The first deco bench stuff is in this room where Sarah decked out a kind of a living room situation.
I've noticed that the couch is plaid. I didn't know it was, or it seems to be plaid.
Yeah, it's like It's like a low
Oh,
thread
cool.
count kind of polyester or linen or something like that. Like I did notice that, and that's my favorite part about it.
Yeah.
Just need a TV now.
This room is set up for conversation,
Oh, excuse me. Then.
which is why the couches are facing each other.
Nice.
Why the hell would I want to talk to you guys when I have a TV?
The TV never talks back.
That's why I like it. Hello.
What is with the numbers on that clock, though? 12:18:06.
It's I don't know. I don't know, man. It's
1806.
That's pretty
Oh,
interesting.
on
it's
a-
using 24-hour time. I don't know why the zero's on the
Yeah, but
bottom.
it's
I don't know. I
not
think
in
they're
order.
assuming. I think it's sun position because 0 would be midnight,
Okay.
or I don't know. It doesn't.
Well-
I don't know. Honestly.
Who is it?
This
Wait,
is
it's-
my
We don't
favorite.
want any.
This is my favorite edition.
The rocking chairs?
Wait, what?
Oh.
Yeah, they're cute.
Do they rock?
No.
They don't rock.
Unfortunately.
Ah, lame.
Most things are simply decorative, but they're
False
so cheap.
advertising.
I have a clay making device, so I could make tons of any of these things.
I gotta make myself a hammock now. I didn't. That would be a good addition.
I
to my
knew
house.
you would love that.
Heck yeah.
So the
are
last
great.
thing I added was the bathroom. Finally, we have the bathroom. What used to be a water pit in the corner
Finally!
is now a decorated water pit.
Oh, I've been holding it forever. No! No, me first! God damn it! I've been holding it for fucking months.
Hey, use a sink. That's what the sink's for.
No, you know what? I'm going in the tub. Screw you
Gross.
guys. What, you don't pee in the shower?
So the shower's not the sink. I'd have to stand on my tippy toes to really get the whiz in there.
Oh,
Hey, you
No.
have a better chance
Hey,
than
you
True
know what?
gentleman crap in the
I-
sink.
I don't need to know your
That's
shortcomings on that in that department. So
I love these cakes.
Yeah, I found out. Okay, so
your feet are baking, by the way.
I went through complete hell getting the animal farm put together, and once I finally had chickens, which, by the way, chickens do not want to live.
I gave you
Ocelots
chickens,
would
right?
just slaughter them left and right, so I had to build them a special enclosure, unlike all the other animals, for them to survive. But now I'm in an overabundance of eggs, and I have a different way to make eggs, so it doesn't
There's
even
so
matter.
many
I can go
chickens.
kill them all right now. It doesn't matter. But I had so many eggs that I made some cakes.
Yes,
So if you want
kill
cakes, you
them.
can right-click on them,
Kill them
but
all.
you do diminishing returns like anything else. So don't have too many slices of
Wow.
the same thing.
This
Wait,
is
can you eat
amazing.
Dude, you know, you can't tell here, but I have some on the counter at my place, and if you walk on them, it makes a sound. It's
If
kind
I
of fun.
right click on it, I can eat it.
All right, let's moving on. Jeez, guys, yikes! You're something else. Why don't we go to the machine shop last?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sun's coming down. So next up then would be. Oh, actually, let's go here now because we're gonna return here for the ultimate funness. But
The ultimate funness.
ultimate. So Daniel, what's new to you is I've got a holographic terrain projector that shows the nearby terrain.
What?
And it shows little markers for where storms are. This is a combination of two completely different mods display systems, so I can track where storms are. But I've got a weather deflector, so no damaging storms can get really close to us.
Get
That's
the
fine.
fuck out.
What is
That
this really
amazing.
tall white peak? Is it clouds?
That's the no. It's height emphasized, and I can't change that. So that's the nearby mountain.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
I was thinking it was way too high for.
I don't know if you saw our Nether portal. We won't be visiting that.
Oh,
but,
whoa, hey, that, you know what? I mean, we're friends and all, but that's maybe going a step too far.
Yeah. Step over into my Nether dungeon. So I finished the smeltery. Pretty much finished. This is about as big area-wise as it can get, and the height is not important because you'll see of all the metals I have in there, it doesn't even reach a block. So I'm not.
Oh, no, okay.
When I use it, it's just going to be to make metals and pour them out. So this is all decorative essentially at this point.
Man, everything's decorative. Your face is
Yeah,
decorative.
everything's decorative. Over here is just a bunch of crap I experimented with and I hate. But up here on this bookshelf, for anybody who needs a copy, and that's nobody because Daniel doesn't have his own base, and I actually secretly gave a copy to Sarah,
Well, I might
and I
someday
know
have
Beth
that.
has a copy. I made a book.
Yep.
This was a project I'd been working on in secret.
Yes.
This book will list every material that you can possibly use to make weapons, tools, bows, arrows, any of that. And it organizes them in general usefulness so that if you decide you wanted to branch out on your own, like both Sarah and Beth have, they have a reference guide so that if they get a new material, rather than experimenting and wasting lava, they can say, oh, is this a worthwhile material? Or if they're like, I would like to make the best possible sword I can make. What kind of materials do I have? Or like, maybe I can make an alloy, and so forth. So all that reference is in there. And I've got multiple copies because I have a way to copy books, and we're going to check that out in a moment.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh, yeah. It's nighttime, so let's all go to bed.
To sexiness, but I'm not up there.
But you could be.
Well, I'm going to be. Now the sign is accurate.
So, Daniel hasn't seen any of this, and
I have not.
you guys have seen versions of this, but this is essentially the completed machine shop. And if we ignore for a second this intimidating device in the center, and we look just at the peripherals, these devices are constructed in such a way that, in many cases, if you were to plunk a single ore into this machine, in fact, Daniel, I'll have you throw a batch in there. Here, take some hematite.
Some hematite.
Actually, this is a two-step process.
Okay.
Don't go plunking that in yet.
All right.
So, in principle, if you put some ores in here, they turn into 5 ingots. That's the most you can possibly squeeze out of them.
Okay.
But it takes a little bit of extra steps. So every time you want to squeeze one more ingot out, it takes many more machines. And this one requires sulfuric acid. So we need a constant supply of sulfur to make the acid. So let's first make some sulfur. So I have some sulfur to start. Here's 12 sulfur, but I found a cool trick to make even more out of just that.
There we go.
If you take equal amounts of saltpeter.
Oh, hold on. I need to rearrange stuff in my inventory here.
Oh, I see.
All right. Okay, saltpeter, right?
One more
Sulfur
thing.
and saltpeter.
Charcoal. If you make equal parts of saltpeter, sulfur, and charcoal and craft those 3 together, you can do that in your own personal crafting grid.
Okay.
You can make gunpowder, and a lot of it.
All right. Okay. All right.
So you've got gunpowder. What I want you to do with that gunpowder is pop at least some of it into the chemical injection chamber right in front of you here with the gas tank on top. Just pop a little bit in. Not the whole mess of it.
Okay.
Let's do maybe on the order of 6 or 7, something like that.
Where the lightning lightning bolt is?
That means energy input if you have a battery. You want to put it in the red.
In the
In
red.
fact,
okay.
that's the only thing that will accept it and do anything.
Okay. Oh, it's making noises.
So it's using hydrogen chloride, which is the cyan bar underneath it.
Watch
And
out, she's gonna
converting-
blow!
If you put hydrogen chloride through gunpowder, you get sulfur dust. Yeah, let's just do one more. Okay, that's plenty for now. I've already made a batch of it, so here, have some sulfur dust.
Just like on a cooking show. Here's some I made earlier.
In essence, 1 sulfur can be made into like 3 to 6 dusts. I'm not doing the exact math, but it's more than you started with. More sulfur dust than you started with. It only at the cost of saltpeter and charcoal. So you want to put those into this device, chemical oxidizer, and it makes a cool sound when you do.
Which one? Oh, this one right here.
Yeah, the one that says feed me sulfur to
Okay.
keep my head straight so I could remember what gets what.
Oh god. Oh, it's really scary.
This takes sulfur, puts it into the machine on top, which makes it into sulfur dioxide. Or
Also
no, this
really
this
loud.
takes sulfur and makes it into sulfur dioxide. It pipes it in the machine on top, which combines it with oxygen to make sulfur trioxide. Then that pipes it into another combiner machine right here in the corner that combines it with water vapor to make sulfuric acid. And the sulfuric acid is pumped into the chemical dissolution chamber. So that's the one that says feed me ores. If you right-click on the chemical dissolution chamber, you can see a supply of sulfuric acid that should be increasing as this thing processes through the sulfur you dropped in there. And it's going up. It goes
Just
up
so
about
you know,
yeah.
on my end, it's really loud.
Yeah, that's Yeah, that's what happens at the machine shop. So yeah, thanks. You could just drop all the sulfur in there. That's perfect. Like, we have more than enough, but I wanted to show you the creation of that. So the next step you're gonna want is actually, now that we have a supply of sulfuric acid, drop some ores in there. So if you don't mind, could you please drop the hematite in there?
What? I can't hear you!
I said I think you're pretty. toss some hematite in the chemical dissolution chamber.
Hematite. Throw it where? Oh, right
if you just
here.
shift click, it'll go where it goes.
All right, shift click. There.
Yeah, Chris,
Nice.
tell him where to put that hematite.
Here, you can do the same thing with pyrosite. So what this will do is you'll see that this got this yellowish gas happening here. It's dissolving that hematite into a dirty iron slurry and then washing it through this device into clean iron slurry. All that essentially gets... So once you have a clean metal slurry, you can crystallize the actual crystals of metal out of it. So this is how you're squeezing the absolute most out of an ore. So it takes it, dissolves it as much as possible, and just squeezes every last metal crystal out of it, and then runs it through this entire chain, where it eventually becomes an ingot.
I heard absolutely none of that, by the way.
Sorry. Well, it'll show up somewhere. Essentially, we're using chemistry and engineering to get to milk every last crystal of every molecule of metal out of those ores.
Is anyone else seeing a weird glitch in the pipes here?
Yeah, that happens. The problem
Okay.
is that manganese, which was in the pyrolusite, doesn't have a gas representation or a slurry representation, so it comes through as untextured. I thought it was
see.
a rendering problem. It's just accidentally missing that one texture. All right, so let's all step away from all the loud machines into this
Please.
recessed corner,
Please, God.
because over here, yeah, it should be quiet enough.
Yeah, much better.
What? I think I've gone deaf.
That's the by and large of it. I did have one more machine I wanted to show you, but I'll just tell you about it from a distance while I demonstrate it, because it's going to be loud as ass.
Oh, great.
So, if I have osmium, I can put that inside one of the machines that I just made recently, which is over here, called the osmium compressor. It liquefies the osmium, and then I can put in obsidian dust, and that will combine it with the liquefied osmium to make an obsidian ingot, which I have here. Now, if you check this corner table, you can see the project that I've been working on is missing one last piece.
Whoa.
So I'm gonna pop it, and like all those machines were quite a pain in the ass, but it's worth it.
Atomic
'Cause-
lattice crafting upgrade.
At this, atomic lattice is the highest tier of lattice that you can make, so you got to be able to have the right machines that have diamond and obsidian and all that crap. I can make them pretty quickly at this moment, but once I put the last piece in there, I've got a robot. I've been waiting for this guy since episode 1.
Oh, what?
So to get him active, I got to pop him on his little charging station. That's my robot.
Oh my God, he's so cute.
And I'm gonna name him what I always name him,
Aw.
Wallie.
Wally, oh
So-
my God.
So that he's kind of named
I'm
after
gonna
Billy,
die.
my cat. He's my new little companion.
Hi, I'm Wally.
That's super cute.
So Wallie is a combined
Oh, I didn't do it.
Wallie is a combined crafting table, furnace, anvil, and chest, and he can follow you around.
Oh my God, I want one.
So no, I don't want to rename. Follow me. So I'm gonna tell him to follow me and see if he actually follows suit. Let's check this out. So come here, stupid.
Oh, you're already
Following
insulting
true.
him.
Here we go. Come on, Wally. So
Oh
he
my
has an
God.
internal supply of power. That's 100 kilojoules, and it uses some to do any of those effects that I just listed, or even follow you, but the amount it uses to follow you is pretty minimal. He has a mode called pickup mode, where if you drop stuff on the ground, he'll pick it up, but I find that can get really annoying, so I always leave that off. Wally is awesome. If he takes damage, he instead loses his power charge,
Here, boy.
so if you kill him, he just teleports back to his home
Here,
base.
boy, you
Oh,
want a
he
bone?
just teleports.
Here, boy, you want a bone?
So the
Here.
coolest well, I have to turn on pickup mode, but then he goes haywire. Like the AI is all
Fine.
screwed up. I don't want to. Let's try it out. Let's try it out.
Okay.
Drop pickup mode. Yeah, drop something on the ground.
Here you go, boy. Here you go. Here's a bone. Pick it up.
Pick it up, stupid.
Yeah,
There we go.
he did the
You're so mean.
thing.
Hey, here's
Oh
my little
God,
boy.
he did it.
Dude, Wally's kicks ass.
Oh my God.
So the best use for this dude that I can think of, and I haven't seen one of these things in years because it's been that long since I've been advanced enough to build one, is that if I tell him to follow me and I go mining, he could just be an additional chest. And the cool part about it is if I have another person at this base, I can tell him to go home and he'll immediately teleport back to his charge pad. So I could fill him with a bunch of shit, send him back to the charge pad, and somebody could receive him and take all the stuff out, and then tell him to come back down after me. So he's like a He's a great little courier.
Oh my god, he's your robot friend to the end.
And if he ever falls into lava or falls into water and malfunctions and runs out of energy, he'll just teleport back to his pad. He's pretty much indestructible.
Aw.
Oh my god, that's so amazing.